Welcome. Today we are talking about Charlotte, North Carolina, and we're going to do a head-to-head battle between two of the most popular suburbs right here in Charlotte. That would be Huntersville and Matthews, North Carolina. Let's see which one wins. This head-to-head battle will be 3 rounds. Both Matthews and Huntersville are always talked about as ideal suburbs to live in, and to be totally contrite with you, about 6 or 7 times out of every 10 calls, when somebody reaches out to the office about moving to Charlotte, they're interested in either Huntersville or Matthews or even both. So I thought this will be an ideal pairing to go head-to-head with. Hello family, I'm Sir Ashley. If this is your first time on the channel, welcome. I appreciate you coming and watching. We're literally getting phone calls, texts, and emails every single day from people moving to and people relocating within the Charlotte area, and we absolutely love it. If you're moving or relocating anywhere in the greater Charlotte area, make sure you give us a call, shoot us a text, or send an email. Just reach out to us. We're here to help. So let's get this battle of the suburbs started. The first category we're going to look at is prices. Both home purchase prices and rental rates for both Huntersville and Matthews, North Carolina. Starting off with rental rates, the average rental rate in Huntersville as of March 2021 was just under $1,800 at $1,776 a month. And in Matthews, the average rental rate was just under $1,800 at $1,788 a month. Wow, that's pretty close. But before we move on to purchase price, let's talk about why Huntersville is such an attractive Charlotte area suburb to live in. Huntersville has the convenience of everything. It's right in the middle between going to the lake or going to uptown Charlotte. And if you work for Lowe's or one of the racing teams, but still like to go uptown, Huntersville is a perfect location for you because you're pretty much in the halfway point and equal distance from both work and play. Huntersville also has tons of outdoor activities like Frankie's Fun Park, where you can go on golf carts or play mini golf. It also has bumper cars, but that's inside. But you also have tons of nature parks and sports parks right in Huntersville, such as North Mecklenburg Park. There are several soccer fields, basketball courts, outdoor basketball courts. I used to play on them pretty heavily about 10 years ago. For my older people out there, don't do it. Do not go play out on those outdoor courts. You're going to hurt yourself. Trust me, I'm speaking from experience. North Mecklenburg Park also has baseball fields and a playground for the kids. There's also Holbrook Park and Blythe Landing Park, Stevens Nature Preserve. I could go on and on and on. Huntersville is ideal if you like being outside and enjoying nature. Don't forget there's the lake nearby as well. Later on in this video, I will tell you what makes Matthews such an attractive Charlotte suburb as well. But let's move on to the next part of this head-to-head battle regarding home purchase price. The median price for a home in Matthews for purchase as of March 2021 was $361,000. And the median price of a home for purchase in Huntersville was $389,000. So with the rents in both areas being pretty comparable, pretty much the same price, a $20 difference, it looks like Matthews takes the first round and beats Huntersville because the median home price is about $20,000 less. So round 1 goes to Matthews. Now for round number 2, let's look at schools and see which one of these two Charlotte area suburbs has the better schools according to greatschools.org and niche.com. Be sure to check out the links in the description where you can check out all the information regarding the area and the schools. According to greatschools.org, Matthews has a lot of schools that are 10s, 9s, 8s, and even several 6s. Now let's take a look at Huntersville schools. Huntersville has a couple of 10s, an 8, and several 6s, as well as 7s. All right, we looked at greatschools.org. Now let's look at niche.com. And according to niche.com, Huntersville has several highly rated public schools, and they're in the A's and A minuses. Now, while I can't speak personally about each and every one of these schools, I do know that William Ho High School did an excellent job preparing my niece for college. Now, while in high school, she was an average student, but got into some very good colleges and has been excelling ever since. Huntersville also has some very highly rated private schools, and according to niche.com, Lake Norman Christian is among them. Quick aside, growing up, I was very big into sports, basketball in particular, and Lake Norman Charter has a very, very good basketball program and attracted one of the top players in the country last year. So you know your kids better than I do. If they have an affinity or an attraction to sports, make sure you look into that as well when you're thinking about schools in the area. Now let's see what niche.com has to say about the schools in Matthews, North Carolina. Again, you see several highly rated public and private schools in Matthews, North Carolina. So this round is very, very close, and both suburbs, Matthews and Huntersville, has great schools and good schools. I think this one is too close to call, so it's going to be a draw. But be sure to examine each school in both areas so you can see which area has the most ideal school for your kids. All right, it looks like we're in a very heated battle, with the score being 2-1 with Matthews in the lead. Now let's go on to round 3, and in round 3 we will look at drive time, meaning the commute time it will take to get to Uptown during rush hour. Let's start with the commute time from Matthews to Uptown Charlotte during the morning rush hour. As you can see, it takes anywhere from 18 to 35 minutes to go from Matthews to Uptown Charlotte. Now that's not bad. It's really not that bad at all. But let's take a look at what the morning commute is like for Huntersville to Uptown. As you can see, the morning commute time from Huntersville to Uptown Charlotte is just 16 to 28 minutes. Now personally, I would not consider either one of those commute times to be too bad, and especially if you're coming from a larger city, because I remember living in DC and LA, and no matter where I wanted to go, no matter what time it was, I was in the car for at least 40 minutes, and significantly longer if it was rush hour traffic. But when you compare these two suburbs, I have to give the edge to Huntersville. All right, I didn't expect this, but after 3 rounds, we are all tied up at 2 apiece. And I personally hate ties. I'm a very competitive person, so we have to do a tiebreaker round. So for round 4, let's look at restaurants and food options for each suburb. First, let's look at the Huntersville food scene. Now, Huntersville has a wide array of food options. There's Lincoln Pen, which is known for their drinks and seafood dishes. There's Duckworth's Grill and Tap House, which is an excellent choice for wings, burgers, and drinks. And since I mentioned wings, I can't forget about Killington's. And if you go to Killington's, you have to try their Gold Rush seasoning on their wings. Trust me, you will not be disappointed with the Gold Rush seasoning on your wings. Now, I've done another video about Huntersville and the food options that Huntersville has to offer. You can check that video out here. I'll also put a link to it in the description below. Now let's take a look at the food scene in Matthews, North Carolina. Now personally, I like seafood and I like beer. So when I heard of Seaboard Brewery in Matthews, my heart is smiled. A brewery that caters to seafood, I thought it was the best of both worlds. But however, when I got there, I was shocked that they don't serve seafood. Now it's probably my fault because I should have Googled their menu, but I think they missed out on an excellent opportunity. With a name called Seaboard Brewery, I just assumed they served seafood, but never mind. Now, while I was disappointed that they did not serve seafood, I can't complain about their selections of beer. They had over 1,000 different types of beer that I could choose from, and their food menu, while it wasn't seafood, it still was very good. And if you go to Seaboard Brewery, you have to have the Jordan Jamboree pizza, courtesy of Pizza Exchange, because you will definitely enjoy it. Now, it is just a traditional pepperoni and cheese pizza, but I'm not sure what they do to it because it was delicious. Now, it could be the beer that made it taste so delicious, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, and everybody I was with enjoyed it as well. So if you're in Matthews, be sure to try out Seaboard Brewery. While Huntersville food scene is diverse, it is nowhere near as diverse as Matthews food scene. Matthew has BM Asian Kitchen, and if you like Indian food, it has Bombay Grill, which is delicious. And if you're like me, who enjoys breakfast at all times of the day, you will be able to enjoy breakfast and brunch at your leisure at a restaurant called First Watch. First Watch has a wide array of breakfast and brunch foods, and the servings are very plentiful. Now let's just talk about downtown Matthews for a second. In just downtown, you have a wide spectrum of food options. You have El Valle, which I probably just butchered. It is a staples in Matthews. It's a Mexican restaurant that's been in Matthews for over 20 years. The downtown area also has Thai Taste, Max Speed Shop, which is barbecue, and it has Chinese food, as well as a tapas spot called Portrait Gallery. You cannot go wrong with the downtown Matthews food scene. So after a close battle and looking at the food scene for each of those Charlotte area suburbs, I have to say that Matthews gets the nod and is going to be put over the top. In this head-to-head, Matthews barely beats out Huntersville in the battle between these two Charlotte area suburbs. All right, if you're interested in Charlotte, make sure you watch this Charlotte area playlist right here where I discuss all things Charlotte. I go over the pros and cons of the city and what people hate about Charlotte, as well as in-depth reviews of the neighborhoods and suburbs in and around Charlotte. Also, hit that like button, leave a comment, let me know what you think of each suburb, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. I'm Sir Ashley. Talk soon.